I find that being a single mom, um, raising my kids alone, and just dealing with the fact that my ex is so in and out. Like, the situation with my ex is we don't talk much. Now, we have these three kids together, but as far as him being like a part of our lives, it's not so much like that. Like, my ex is for months at a time I don't talk to him at all. And I'll just leave it at that, because, really, his personal business is his personal business. But then me not talking to him is my business. And I don't mind sharing that, because I know a lot of people go through that. Like, I am a single mom. Like, I raise my kids solely, on my own. So I don't talk to him. And it's not something that I prefer. Like, in my perfect world, um, we would be able to co-parent. Um, we would be able to. I would have a week with the kids. He would have a week with the kids, or however we could do it. We would be able to co-parent at its finest. Whatever that is, we would be able to do it, and that's in my perfect world. But it's not so much like that. And since it's not like that, it's hard. And I have noticed that people don't understand how hard it is to be a single mom, and how how much it takes, and how I feel, raising the kids by myself. I feel like people, and not all people, like, don't get me wrong, you know how it is when you're making YouTube videos, you want to talk freely, but then you always feel like you have to do these disclaimers, because everybody's always like, well, I don't feel like that about single parents. Well, if you don't feel like that, then I'm not talking to you. But I feel like a lot of people always, since being a single mom, especially in the African American community, since it's so prominent for women, especially younger women, and it seems like the more we go, it's just the norm for black moms to be in the house with the kids and raise the kids on their own. It's so much of the norm that people don't look at it as it's really dysfunctional. Like, nowadays, what I see on Facebook and what I see on the social media websites, you even see like baby mama BM, baby daddy BD. It's so popularized, and like it's a good thing, and they just, it's glorified. Like, I see my BD the other day. I see my BM the other day. Like, it's so dysfunctional, and it's not me judging anybody, it's just me speaking some reality on what's going on. Like, it's really dysfunctional, because um and I'm a psychology major, and and I know that the dynamics that's needed, and I know that kids need that father figure, that mother figure, for two different things. Like, you get something from the father that you don't get from the mother. You get stuff from the mother that you don't get from the father. You'll read this. This is scientific. So I know this for a fact. So the fact that I am raising these kids alone, and I do a damn good job, I know I do. I give my kids all the love in me. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that, because I really love them, and I never thought that I would be a mom of three. Like, this is something that I never grew up thinking. Like, I always thought that I would have a kid someday, maybe two, a boy and a girl. I didn't think three. And you would say, well, two, three. But no, because three kids is, once you go past one kid, I know people out there with kids know what I'm talking about. Once you go past that one kid, having multiple kids in the house is a whole nother. a whole nother thing. Being a parent is a whole nother thing. So, when you have three kids under the age of 5, it is a more than a full time job. But I feel like a lot of people just think it's the norm, especially men, like, especially guys that I talk to, just guys that I talk to, and it's just like, even with my husband that degrades me sometimes, and I'm just being honest. He does. We have a it was and that was the reason that we're not together, because it was an abusive situation. So all my people that's watching out there, um, all my ladies, all my men, if you're going through an abusive situation, I know it's hard to get out of it and to get in another headspace, because sometimes you feel like you just need somebody that you're with. You cling on to them. You feel like that's your life, that's your existence. But it's not worth it, and life does go on. So if you're in an abusive relationship, get out of it. If you don't see that way out of it, like you don't see the light in that tunnel, I promise you, I have been there before, and it's beautiful. And I want you to know that there are outlets and there are people that are going through the same exact thing. They're hearing the same dialogue that the people that are abusing, like your abuser, is saying the same thing that another abuser is saying, and you have support. So get out of that situation. But my point is, I feel like a lot of times people think it's the norm for a woman to just sit and raise kids by herself. And it's hard. And right now, I'm in school. I'm in school, I'm raising my kids, and I'm at home with them. So I feel like it's a blessing for me to be able to be at home with my kids. But to the moms, the single moms, that work and take care of their kids, my hat's off, my shoes off, my makeup off for you, because you deserve it. If I had a dozen roses to give to every woman and man out there that's working and coming home and taking care of those kids, I would give it to you in a New York minute, second, however they say it. I promise I would, because I know it's hard. But my thing is, I feel like people don't get it. They don't get how tired I am, how it's not normal. Like, it's supposed to be, when you make kids with somebody, you are supposed to have a helpmate in raising them. And when you don't, it's difficult. And it's not something that you just get over in a day. So, I mean, I feel like when people don't go through something, or they're not in your shoes, they don't understand, but they still have so much to say. And it's like, my thing is, if you're not going through something that somebody else is going through, don't place judgment on them. Because how can you? How can you do that? That's a young mentality to do that. You have to walk in somebody's shoes to know what they're going through and tell them how to do something. And I think that was my whole purpose of making this video. I want to make some more videos like this, because this makes me feel good to just talk and just get it out there. So I'm going to come back and make some more like this. I love this. If y'all like this little talking story time type of situation, then subscribe and like this video, because I want to make some more, and give me some feedback, guys. I love you guys. Always, I love you guys. Thanks for watching me. I'm going to make some more.